Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be doing the You're Not Good Enough book tag. I was perusing the YouTubes and I came across this tag and it was super cool, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So the way this tag works is that you put 30 characters into a jar, as I have done, and there are 15 questions. For every question, you pull out 2 characters and decide which one fits it better. And whichever one you don't pick is obviously not good enough. And this tag was created by Becca, the book reviewer, and Read Like Wildfire, so I will leave a link up in the cards to their original video. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the tag, and there are so many jam-packed in here that I think I'm just gonna dump all of these out on the floor and just start picking them up off the floor. Question number 1, you only have 1 spot left on your spelling bee team. Who do you pick to be on your team? Okay, so our options are Ron Weasley, obviously from the Harry Potter series, or Ryuzaki from the Death Note series. And this one's pretty easy because we have in one corner Runil Waslib, who doesn't like to do his schoolwork, and in the other corner we have Ryuzaki, who's an actual genius. So obviously I'm going to choose Ryuzaki. Question number 2 is both of these characters want to kill you, but which character do you kill first to increase your chances of surviving? And this question confuses me a little bit, but I think that what they mean is to leave the weaker character alive to battle them and kill the stronger one off first, I think is what they're asking. I don't know. Either way, that's how I'm going to interpret it. The one that I do not kill is the one that I consider to be the weaker character. Okay, so we have some very different ends of the spectrum here. We have Harry Potter from the Harry Potter series, and we have Evie O'Neill from the Diviner series. So basically, we have someone who has gone to school to do magic and has been trained to combat with magic, and someone who can read objects and is slightly intoxicated most of the time. So if I'm gonna kill off the stronger character so that I can battle the weaker character, I'm obviously gonna kill off Harry, because I'm much more concerned about Harry fighting me than about Evie, because this guy can do magic. What can I do? I can't do anything. Question number 3, you are on the Bachelor/Bachelorette and you have 1 rose left. Which one of these 2 characters do you give your rose to? Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so oh no! My options are Fred Weasley from the Harry Potter series, who y'all know is like my bae, 5 ever and always. And the other option, I put Dan Howell into the mix because of The Amazing Book is Not on Fire and because of Dan and Phil Go Outside, and I don't know what to do. This is possibly the worst combination that I could have gotten for this question. I mean, it's the best combination because, like, obviously these would be the last 2 left standing, but, like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is a realistic situation, too, because if I was on The Bachelorette and I had 2 guys left standing, out of the ones in this pile, but there's 1 more that I would probably have in the mix, but, like, these are the 2. Yep. Honestly, I'm standing here and I really have no idea who I would pick between the 2 of these. Like, I feel like this is actually The Bachelorette and I'm torn between these 2 because I love them so much. I did not expect to have to make this decision between one of my favorite real-life humans and my favorite fictional character. My favorite fictional character. Okay, I think I've made my choice. I would give my rose to Dan, I think. I don't know. Oh, this is so hard. I'd give it to Dan, but I'd be really torn about it because, like, Fred Weasley is bae, 5 ever and always. I love Fred so much. It's so hard, but I love Dan. Okay, I don't think that any other questions could be as hard as that one, but I'm probably jinxing myself by saying that. Let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 is you have been chosen to participate in the Hunger Games. Which of these characters would most likely volunteer in your place? Okay, so this is interesting. So I ended up getting Simon Lewis from the Mortal Instrument series and Clary Frey from the Mortal Instrument series. And despite the fact that this is a really interesting combination of characters, I feel like this is a pretty easy question to answer. I mean, it would obviously be Clary, right? Because, like, Simon is a great character and I love him so much, but Simon is very, like, timid and reserved, and I feel like Clary just, like, jumps into situations without thinking, and that's kind of what you would have to do if you just randomly volunteered as tribute. You would jump into the situation either without thinking or like just immediately because you're wanting to save someone, and that's basically Clary. So yeah, I definitely think that of the two, Clary would be most likely to just decide to volunteer as tribute. Question number 5 is, you are stranded on a deserted island with these two characters. Which one are you more likely to sacrifice if you have to resort to cannibalism? This one's a tough one. Okay, so I got Captain Thorn from the Lunar Chronicle series, and I got Jace Wayland from the Mortal Instruments. And I feel like there's two ways to go about this question. There's like, which one would you rather have around for the time that you're deserted with them? Or also, which one is going to be more helpful for the time that you're deserted? And honestly, I think the answer is the same for both of these. If I have to choose between the two of them, there is absolutely no way that I'm going to sacrifice Jace, the one who is a trained fighter and could kill animals. Like Captain Thorn, sure, he's got some talents, but I feel like Jace would be more pleasant to be around for me personally because we have very similar personalities, and I feel like he'd be more helpful trying to like kill things and stuff. So Jace. I mean, Jace would be the one that I would keep around, and I would kill Captain Thorn. I think you knew what I meant. Question number 6. You are the next DC/Marvel superhero. Which of these two characters do you pick as your sidekick? So I thought this was gonna be easy when I opened the first one because I love the first character that I chose, but then I chose the second one. So the first one is Ellen DeVenture from the Mistborn trilogy, and the second one is Paige Mahoney from the Bone Season series. Question number 7. You are the manager at an avocado admiring agency. Which employee do you fire for lack of communication skills? Okay, so we got an interesting combination here. Our options are Bella Swan from Twilight and Jacob Black from Twilight. So they're both pretty bad at this, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Jacob, only because I feel like he would get upset about something and then just like turn into a werewolf, and they'd be like, really, Jacob, again? Are you really doing this again to us? Like, we have to get you some new clothes now. Like, I just feel like he would get upset about something avocado admiring related, and like they'd be like, really? Do you have to do this every time? So yeah, I mean, Bella isn't that great at communication either, but I feel like they would get really annoyed at Jacob just turning into a werewolf. Question number 8. You've just finished a book where your favorite character dies. Which of these two characters is most likely to comfort you? So this is an interesting combination that we have here. We have Will Herondale from the Infernal Devices trilogy, and we have Vin from the Mistborn trilogy. And I think for this one, I'm gonna have to go with Will Herondale. I mean, like, sure, he does that whole, like, I am emotionless shtick, but like he's sweet. Like he pretends like he's a jerk, but he's not, and he's very emotional, and I feel like he would actually be comforting if I like was really upset about something. And it's not like Vin is emotionless or anything, because she's definitely not. I just feel like she would be more the type of person who's like, you can move on from this, let's move on, let's do something else. Whereas Will would like help you to cope with it and would like actually let you cry on his shoulder. I don't know, I'm making things up at this point. Question 9. Ugh, it's high school. Which of these characters would be most likely to be part of the popular clique? Okay, so we got a kind of interesting group of characters here. So our options are Bobby Pendragon from the Pendragon series, and Philip Lombard from And Then There Were None. And like with some of the other ones, even though the combination of characters is interesting, I feel like this is a super easy choice. Because Bobby Pendragon was the popular guy in school before this whole series started. Like, that was his thing. He was the star basketball guy. So like, Bobby Pendragon would definitely be the popular kid in school versus Philip Lombard. Philip Lombard would be like the weird character that everyone else was like really creeped out by, who's like sitting by himself. Question 10. The day has arrived. You're finally a year older. Which one of these characters would have the nerve to forget your birthday? So our options are Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series and Sam Lloyd from the Diviner series. And I feel like this one's pretty much a no-brainer. Hermione would never forget someone's birthday who's important to her, but Sam Lloyd would totally forget. Actually, you know what? Sam wouldn't forget. He would like be that person that was like purposely being obnoxiously stupid about it. Like, he'd be like, oh, I don't know, is something happening today? I don't know. But I'll stand by what I said. I feel like Hermione would never forget someone's birthday, whereas Sam would be probably pretty likely to. Question number 11. You've just found an up-and-coming booktube star. Who would it most likely be? Before I even choose one, this one seems like it's gonna be difficult because I feel like I've already picked all of my very book-centric characters, so this will be interesting. Okay, so I take back what I said originally. I still had Kath from Fangirl in the mix, and I also had Cinder that I picked for this one. And I feel like the obvious choice here is Kath from Fangirl. I mean, sure, she is very introverted, but I feel like the majority of booktubers actually are pretty introverted. Like, someone can be able to project themselves on camera or on video and still not be very extroverted, and that's definitely me. Like, I'm a total introvert. So yeah, I feel like it would definitely be Kath because she's the one that would spend a lot of time reading. Question 12, sleepover time, but you can only invite one of these characters. Which do you invite? Okay, so our options are Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter and Lore from the Pendragon series. I feel like neither of these people would be actually fun sleepover guests, because like Lore would be like, what's the point of this? What are we doing? Why are we just having fun? We need to be going and doing something. And Draco would just be like, I will tell my father about every single bad thing you do to me. That being said, I think I'm gonna go with Draco on this one because I feel like Lore would just be a buzzkill. I feel like she would just be like, this is pointless. Whereas Draco would at least be somewhat entertaining. Question 13, bam, you're pregnant. Who's the father? So our options are Jim Carstairs from the Infernal Devices trilogy and Tom Fletcher, who is another real person that I included in here like I did with Dan Howell. He wrote Unsaid Things, Our Story by McFly, which is the band that he's in. And I mean, I love both of them, but I'm gonna have to go with Tom because I love Tom Fletcher quite a bit. Plus, I mean, just think about it. Tom's already a dad. Like, he would be perfectly capable of handling a child, and I would not be, so I would need someone who would be able to, because I'm not a child person. Question number 14. You have just written a super important text to someone. Who would see it and not reply? So our options are Light Yagami from the Death Note series, or Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games trilogy. I feel like this one's easy again. It would obviously be Light, because Light does not care. He doesn't want to talk to you, and he's not going to pretend like he wants to, so it's definitely gonna be Light. So we're down to the last question, question 15, and the last two slips, and the question is, you've just woken up for breakfast, but your mom has been replaced with one of these two characters. And our options are Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunter Chronicles, or Kelsier from the Mistborn trilogy. And I would obviously choose Magnus Bane. Like, I feel like they would both be like equally helpful in the kitchen. I feel like neither of them is super skilled, but A, Magnus Bane has been alive forever. He's probably picked up some sort of cooking skill in the years. And B, I feel like he would just be more enjoyable to be around. Like, I feel like that would be a fun breakfast. Or like, would he replace my mom forever? That wouldn't be fun. I don't want my mom to be replaced forever. Anyway, Magnus Bane over Kelsier for sure. So that is it for the You Are Not Good Enough book tag. I really enjoyed this one. This is a super cool idea. I honestly could see myself doing it again and just like obviously getting different character combinations. I could use the same exact characters and get a whole different video. That being said, I won't do it anytime soon, but this is a super cool tag. If you want to do it, totally do it. I'm not going to tag anyone, but I would totally recommend that you do this if it sounds interesting to you because it was super fun. As always, links to all of my social media will be down in the description. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you on Goodreads. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!